Hey YouTube, it's me, Brandon Colonel. This is... I've lost track of how many times I've tried to upload this video. The last time I just randomly accidentally hit a button and it stopped my video. I am thinking about just not doing this video today. But alas, I will try one more time. Yeah, either I would get a phone call, my video would stop on me, YouTube would die on me, or, as is the case with the very last time, I accidentally hit a button and then everything died on me again. And if the video quality is a little bit poor, it's because I am actually taking this video on a different portion of my computer, if that makes any sense. Beforehand, I would go directly through YouTube, and for whatever reason, the video quality would be a lot higher. Whereas I do the video through my through the camera portion of my laptop, which um, if you guys know Windows 8, there's a portion that just says camera. Then you can take a video on there, record it, and use it later. That's what I'm using right now. And for whatever reason, the video quality is not as good when you're taking it there. My voice is cracking right now. But the video quality isn't as good as when you use it there as it is when you use it directly through YouTube. Don't know why, but that's what's going on. So, on to the actual video portion, the reason why I'm doing the video in the first place. As you guys know from the title of the video, which is probably why you guys are here, this is an EDC update. Just doing an update on what my EDC carry options are. Which the reason why I now have a set and standard EDC rotation now, instead of when I get back to college, is because these two geniuses at work decided to complain about the fact that I carry pocket knives, and basically call me out on being some kind of a crazy knife murderer. Don't know how they're getting off saying that, considering I've been working at McDonald's for 2 years now, and I've never had an incident trying to kill somebody with a pocket knife. Yes, I do carry tactical knives that are actually designed, or at least in my philosophy of use. Excuse me. They're set to be tactical knives for me. I carry them with the intent that if I get into a fight, I can pull out a pocket knife in order to use it to defend my life. But so, they complained, long story short, they complained, and my boss now had to, well, at the time, he confiscated my knives for the day. I went home, I did some research, and I proved to him that, for one, even though there is a rule saying you cannot carry a dangerous weapon in the building, dangerous weapon is defined as any object designed with the intent to cause bodily harm. And I've done this video so many times now that I lose track of what I've already done. So in case I've already said this, bear with me. But the reason for the video shaking like that is because of this beautiful boy right here. His name is Maximus. Yeah, he's laying on my bed right now at 120 pounds. So yeah, if the video continues to shake, it's because of him, Maximus. So, kind of lost track of what I was just saying, but oh, okay. But yeah, so because of yeah, the dangerous weapon, that term is defined as any object designed with the intent to cause bodily harm. This is designed to be an EDC. It's designed by Zero Tolerance with Rick Hinderer in collaboration. Rick Hinderer designs his knives not so much as tactical, but as hard use EDCs. This is an EDC, but being designed by ZT, it does have a tactical role in mind. Now, doesn't detract from the fact that this is still an EDC knife. I have the intent to cause bodily harm with it if somebody attacks me. But otherwise, this is an EDC knife. That's what the majority of people who carry that thing probably use it for, is EDC. One person who's literally been working with me since day one. She was actually the person to train me on day one. Essentially, she told me point blank, I'd bet my life on the fact that you'll be brought up on assault charges because of that knife one day. I would have to do one key factor. One tiny detail. I would actually have to assault somebody. In order to be brought up on assault charges, you actually have to assault somebody. But so, because of her and one other person complaining, then I am now no longer allowed to carry knives. At least on the premise of that building. Now, I still carry this one just because I don't take my safety lightly with any means. I feel my safety is priority. I will defend everybody else's life as well, and I may sacrifice my own life in the process. But I do not feel that my safety is anything to gawk about. I just don't feel that I should take my own safety into somebody else's hands who cannot defend me. But yeah, so I always carry this thing in my back pocket. It's got a deep carry pocket clip, so I can get away with that. But otherwise, I'm downgraded to carrying a box cutter, which when they told me that was okay, then I looked right at them and I was like, do you even remember what they took over the 9/11 flights with? They took it over with a box cutter. That is still just as deadly as any one of my knives. But so, long story short, can't carry knives there anymore, even though it's the perfect testing ground. Since I'm breaking down boxes all day, I'm cutting off flaps all day, I'm cutting tape all day. It's the perfect testing ground, but can't use it there anymore. So, moving on. On to what I carry every single day. The longest thing it has ever been in my collection, and sorry if I repeat things because I've said everything so many times I've lost track of what I said in which video. So, basically starting over from scratch just in case I've already said it in this video, I am determined to get it out in this video. The longest thing it has ever been in my pocket, ever, is this cleaning cloth right here. This exact cleaning cloth has been in my pocket since at least the 4th grade. It might have been the 3rd grade, but it's been there at least since the 4th grade. Yeah, no later than that. But have no clue what kind of brand this is. All that I know is that it's 100% cotton, very tight weave, but it's not the microfiber. That is all that I know about this thing. But it is the best cleaning cloth I've ever had. I've gone through a couple others, and I couldn't stand them. The second longest thing that's been in my pocket is not this exact item, but it is the item, but not the exact object. It is a tube of chapstick. I think I've carried a tube of chapstick about as long as I've carried a cleaning cloth. But yeah, if I carried this one as long as I had the cleaning cloth, I think this would be a little bit hard and unusable. Now, I switch it out pretty regularly, actually. But something else that I carry, which is probably the 3rd longest carried item, is my wallet. This is the exact wallet that I've had for 7 years now. It is just your traditional tri-fold wallet. It says United States Air Force on it with the logo. don't know just how well you can see that because the camera does not want to pick it up. But yeah, the logo is like completely recessed in here. It's been stamped. It's got a lot of spaces for cards, your ID, more cards. It's got 2 places in here for cash and whatever else you want to carry. I do keep a challenge coin, which is the only interesting thing that I do carry in my wallet. Which, for those of you that may be wondering, no, I am not actually in the military or the Air Force. I did try to be. I actually attempted to go in the Air Force, but it didn't quite work out. I actually bowed out with some dignity before they told me to leave, but I knew that's basically where I was heading to. So far, I'm still on the waiting list to find out whether or not I even got my waiver for ADD, which I wouldn't have even found that out until December. But so I bowed out with some dignity beforehand, and so I'm going with my backup as police work. I'm actually officially going to be changing majors at VSU here in the next little bit when I actually get to VSU again. I am still at home right now, but yeah, so when I change majors, it'll be to criminal justice, which will make it easier to be a police. Well, be police to be a cop. But yeah, so that's basically the dog tags are just like dog tags I put together. The YouTube channel name Brandon Colonel actually came around from JROTC. I was determined to go in the Air Force ever since I got into JROTC in high school. But when I actually made my YouTube channel, I was a cadet lieutenant colonel in Air Force JROTC, and that's when I actually came up with the name. I wanted a YouTube account so that way I could see certain videos, because certain videos, for whatever reason, even though they shouldn't have an age limit, because sometimes because of a graphic nature due to a lot of blood and guts that you would see in certain videos, they require some kind of a proof of an age limit. And so, since I was 18, then I was just going to make a YouTube account so I could actually see those videos. But yeah, so I made the account, and I wanted an account that that was very unique to me, and I didn't want to have any kind of numbers afterwards, like Brandon 3456. I didn't want that. I wanted something that was solely mine, and so I came up with the name Brandon Colonel. Brandon obviously being my first name, and Colonel coming from the rank that I had achieved in JROTC. Because, like I said, I was a lieutenant colonel. And then when I actually started my YouTube channel, putting up videos, then I was in high school. I was actually in college at the time. But the final rank that I had achieved was full colonel in Air Force JROTC. I was a full cadet colonel, and I had actually become the JROTC Corps commander. So some of the best times of my life was in Air Force JROTC. But yeah, so that's where the name came from. I've got a lot of Air Force memorabilia because I am so fond of the Air Force, and I actually tried to go. Well, like I said, didn't quite work out. So no, for those of you that are wondering, I am not in the Air Force. I have not been in the Air Force, but I did try to be. So moving on to the next thing, I've always got on my phone. I've got a case for it. Well, this is the case, but I carry a side packer just to clip onto my belt. The reason why I carry this thing around, which some people think that it's geeky to carry these things around, the reason why I do is because I'm not attached to my phone like most people my age are. For crying out loud, there's 80 and 90-year-olds nowadays that are so attached to their phone. They would have a heart attack if they didn't carry their phone around day in and day out. Me, I can easily forget my phone and not give a crap. I don't need to be connected to Facebook every single day. In fact, this is my first smartphone ever. I'm still not sold on smartphones even due to that thing. In fact, I've still got my old phone, which I would carry this thing around the same kind of way. I would have a side holster for it, essentially, which probably even got the case around here for it somewhere still. But this is all that I needed. I didn't need anything else. And it calls, it texts, takes pictures, takes video. What else did I need? Not much. I mean, sure, it's handy to be able to get on the internet every once in a while, but honestly, it's not the end-all answer. So, I'm still not sold on smartphones, but if I didn't have a case, I would forget it all the time. Because I'm not putting it in my pocket. I mean, my wallet is already thick enough. I don't need anything just as thick to go in my other back pocket, because I put my knife in my back pocket. And seeing as just how freakishly big this thing is, I'm not carrying it there. Plain and simple. Ain't happening. But I would forget it all the time if it wasn't literally strapped to my side. But yeah, so just in case you guys are wondering, this is the Droid Max. Very good phone, very high quality phone, takes really good pictures. That's about all I can say about it. I'm not exactly a phone aficionado. Don't care about phones. Honestly, that one can be shot with a rifle for all I care, and I could easily go back to one of these kind of things. It is not that big of a deal to me. I really don't care. But so, other things that are always on me is my keys. I've always got 2 lanyards on it, so that way I've always got some form of paracord on me, along with my paracord bracelet. Just in case I get into a survival situation, I don't want to be lacking for anything and I need. So, paracord is one thing you always want to have. As usual, I've got my car keys. Very happy to be driving my Cadillac. And, mind you, first car ever. I've got a tip from Cutlery Lover, from one of his videos, of how to basically make a portable duct tape dispenser. Basically, cut off an empty pen tube and attach some duct tape to it, and find some way to attach it to a lanyard. I just, again, use some more paracord, attached it there. Got everything on a carabiner, and just simply attached to my belt loop. So that way, I've always got it. Which, speaking of which, as I actually describe everything, I'm going to continue putting it on. So that way I don't forget it later. Probably the only thing that would have actually beat my cleaning cloth is a watch. Not this specific watch, but a watch, period. If I don't know the exact time, I break down. I like to know the exact time. That's part of my OCD. Which, yes, I also have OCD. But part of it is I have like literally a physical compulsion to need to know the time every second of the day. So that's a good thing for a watch. I think it's made by Starter. Typically, I would always get my watch by Athletic Works, but Athletic Works was absorbed by Starter, and recently the one that I got, I don't even think it had a name brand on it, but it was the same kind of box you would see from Starter, so I think it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same style of watch that I've had for years and years now. It's a cloth band Velcro strap, which I prefer that. Just a little bit more durable to me. A little bit of an elastic band right here, making it a little bit easier to attach the watch itself onto the band in case you need to replace the battery. Standard digital watch comes with the light. It's got the date, an alarm, stopwatch, water resistant up to about 100 meters, I think. Pretty standard stuff. Like I said, I always carry this. I've always got my glasses, obviously. I've always got, typically I've got some kind of a necklace, but that's not always standard. Now let's see, what else do I got? I've always got some kind of a change bag. This was actually the bag that my class ring came in, which, if you guys notice, I am not wearing it because I have lost all of my rings. Still trying to find those. Yeah, this is the bag that my class ring came in, and as you can see, I have more paracord right here. I very much like paracord. Very useful, doesn't break that easy, comes in handy for just about everything. But yeah, so this is a decent bag, holds change very well. I've also got a pair of sunglasses, come in a case, and it's spring loaded here, so that way it can go over top of my existing glasses, so that way I'm not the weird person that wears two pairs of glasses. And I'm not going with the transition lenses because sometimes you don't want sunglasses because you can see clearer without them. Let's see. Time to finally get into the gear. One of the first things that I never go anywhere without, I'll save the knives for last. One of the first things that I never go out anywhere without is the Gerber mini suspension. And Maximus is moving around again. Moving around the focus of my camera. Yeah, it is the Gerber mini suspension. This thing used to be spring-loaded. It is no longer spring-loaded because the spring in it, for whatever reason, broke. I don't even know where the spring is at for it to break, but yes, it did. That is the portion I see the most often, is the pliers. But every once in a while, I do see something like it, the bottle opener, the screwdriver, or even recently, the tweezers. Because every once in a while I've got to take out like a splinter, and these tweezers do come in handy. I do carry around this little multi-tool Swiss Army knife type of thing. The blade doesn't really see all that much use. The scissors almost never see use because I use my knives more. This is a tool that sees the most use, is the nail file. Because I'm a guy, I don't really care about perfectly manicured nails. So, being a guy, they get long, they break, they have a hangnail, they get crap underneath of them. Whenever it gets to be bothersome to me, I just pull this out, take out the nail file attachment, and I'll go to town. If I'm near a nail clipper, I'll use that. But otherwise, typically this is where I get most of my nail filing done, I guess. The next thing that I typically carry is, typically I have some form of a hat somewhere, but I don't see one right now. But otherwise, I carry my pocket knife, obviously. This is my tactical knife, the ZT-0561. Very excellent knife. I've actually got basically a mirror polish on this thing right now, because if I do get into a tactical situation, I want my knife to basically be brand new, so that way I'm not wondering if it's sharp. Which, as you can see, this thing is just an absolute beast at cutting anything. It is razor sharp, and I don't think I'm going to have to worry about this thing being sharp when it actually comes time for me to use it. Hopefully it never does, but just in case, this thing will be ready. Like I said, mirror polish and accepts one very readily, made of LMAX stainless steel, titanium on this side, G10, and I think also titanium on the other side. Very, very good knife. My EDC knife is the ZT0770 CF. CF is just carbon fiber, and which, by the way, every knife that I'm about to pull out, you can go and check out my review on it. I've done a review on every single one of these knives. But yeah, the knife is the sharpest knife that I own. It is very, very good. I love this thing. It is just fun to cut with this thing because whatever you're cutting through just offers no resistance whatsoever. I mean, it's like a hot knife through butter. I mean, part of the reason why I'm not making it through completely is just me. My hand curves the last second, but honestly, this thing is razor sharp. And it doesn't really show any signs of slowing down either. This thing is just a phenomenal knife, which when I get back to college, I do plan on sending both this knife and this knife back into ZT, because this knife, I still need to get the blade replaced. I finally have the money to do it, but I want to get it done all in one go, which right now this is one of the few knives that I can actually carry at work right now that I can basically sneak in because it's a deep carry pocket clip, so nobody notices it. But so when I get back to college, I don't have to worry about hiding a knife anymore at work. So I'll be sending these two in. This one, like I said, to finally get the blade replaced so I can continue carrying this one. I really miss carrying this one because I love it so much. But yeah, so this will be seeing some more pocket time eventually, and I'll actually be able to switch out these two between it being my tactical knife, because this one is faster, but I feel that this one has a better edge. Both are phenomenal knives. I kind of like playing with this one just a little bit more, but this one is faster just in case I do get into a tactical situation. Next, I'm gonna stop moving. But yeah, otherwise both of these I can easily carry around. But this one I want to send in because I would like to de-assist it. I just don't feel that it needs it. But the screws are completely stripped out, and so I need to send it in. So I'll tell them if at all possible, keep the blade on here. But if not, just send me a new knife because I want to de-assist this thing and see just how well it functions. But I can't do that if I can't take it apart. So at all costs, I want this thing taken apart. But so yeah, I'll send it in like when I get to college. But otherwise, a phenomenal knife. And it is the second sharpest thing I own. I would be carrying this thing around all the time, but it's just not a blade shape that I appreciate. I like it for like kitchen use, but otherwise it's just not an EDC for me. Just me personally. Another knife that I carry around is whenever I'm in boots. This is the knife that is always in my boot, because this is obviously a boot knife. I've done a review on this. This is not an EDC by any means. I don't even think it can handle EDC tasks. It is just not sharp enough for it. But otherwise, perfect little last-ditch defense knife just in case I lose my tactical, I lose my EDC. I've always got a backup that I can go to. So, great little knife. I think that I might actually be done. At basically a half hour on the dot, I am cutting it off. As always, YouTube, stay safe.